Okay, this is what happened. I think I'm calmed down enough to record this, to let my side of the story out. After what happened on Friday, for those of you who might be watching like months down the line, it was Friday, September 21st, 2018. I got denied entrance into a concert, and something that has never happened to me before at this particular venue. I was venting and online the night it happened, and a few people suggested that I make a video about what happened, but they said not to use the venue's names or the band's name that I wanted to see, even though if you were following me on Twitter or Instagram that night, you already know the name of the venue and the band that I was going to see. And well, the venue is, under the past 2 years I believe, is under a new ownership, new management than what it was several years back when I was a regular there. And I was a regular at this place for several years, and I have actually seen the band that was headlining quite a few times in that exact same venue. And to have what happened to me, being a former regular under a previous owner and management, but to try to go into the same building and do the same thing I always did over the past several years, and I was denied in a music venue that I had a long personal history with. It was like a really bad feeling. So here's what happened. I mean, since the new owners took over, I was actually in there twice, and their security at the new security under the new owners is the toughest I've seen at any bar. I've been in there twice, and both before this event, and they were tough. The first time I was in there, they actually searched me quite a few times. It's like they searched me like 3 times at the door, and then once when I was just minding my own business watching the show. And they did not let up until they saw me talking to a family member of the previous owner. They did not back off. And the second time I went in there, it was almost the same thing. I wasn't searched as much, but they didn't back off until they saw me talking to a family member of a previous owner. So I don't know what they were thinking, but I was in 2 times before this incident, and this incident, I was so excited to see this band again in the same venue that I've seen them in several times before over the years. And well, I got off work at my day job, went home, did a speedy showered really quick, got dressed up, got all made up, made sure I had the proof that I paid for my ticket and everything. I made sure I had the ticket with me. I made sure I had everything. And I went to and when I got to the venue, I mean, the place was packed, so I had to park into the east lot, which hasn't been kept up in quite some time. So it was muddy, grass growing all over the place, rocks all over the place, and I was in a dress and heels, so I had to walk through that, get to the front door of the venue where I was going to go in. I was just acting the same way I always did. And they said I couldn't bring my purse in. So I was like, okay, I'll just take it back to the car. So I walked all the way back over to the car, all the way to the east lot, put my purse in there, grabbed the ticket and what I needed, and my ID and what I needed to get in. And I walked all the way back and stood in line again. And when I got up, sorry, I'm gonna try to hold the emotions in until after I stop filming. But when I got up there, they still wouldn't let me in. They wouldn't even look at my ID or my ticket. Basically, they said I looked like too much trouble and I have to leave the property. I was like, what? This is a place that I have been in several times. Of course, the owners and management and security was a lot different back then, but I had been in there several times with no no major problems with the management or security in the past, but this was just like a big blow to the head. It's a place that I had so much history with. I mean, the reason I'm not somebody on the internet I was talking to on Friday night when I was a big frazzled mess after I got home from that whole thing said not to mention names because, you know, you'll put yourself at risk for a lawsuit. But so that's why I'm not mentioning the names of the venue or the bands that were playing that night. But it's just, it was painful. I mean, very upsetting that I would get treated that way for no reason. I just look like trouble. What kind of nonsense is just looking like trouble? You're just judging me on my outside appearance. If that, and somebody online when I was Friday night going a little berserk and stuff asked if the venue had gotten a dress code or not. So I was looking online. There's nothing that I could find about the new owners implementing a dress code in this new bar. I did not see anything online, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on any websites saying that the new owners put a dress code in at this place. So I was like, that can't be it. And saying that I look like trouble look like too much trouble. And all I did was like the same stuff I've do pretty much every time I go to a bar, club, or concert venue. I just pretty much did the same thing, and I haven't had problems like this at other places. Well, actually, places that have dress codes have given me a lot of heat. There's like one area of town that I don't go to because all those businesses have dress codes, and a few areas in South Lincoln that have those, but I just don't go to them because I did not have any personal history with those places. They're all brand new and I don't really have a personal history, so it didn't bother. It was upsetting, but it was not as upsetting as what happened on Friday night, and it's just weird. And so it wasn't a dress code, which means you leave it up to the bouncers saying somebody looks like trouble, so you're not gonna let them in. How does the venue know that they didn't hire a racist bouncer? If that's the case, if somebody looks like trouble, don't let them in. How do you know if that's the guideline? How do you know that you didn't hire a racist security guy? Then they could say these people look like trouble, and it could be singling out people of certain races. That's not good either. And I know it wasn't a race issue, but that was just an example. But I was looking around online trying to calm down, and I was also trying to look at the ticket website that they were selling their tickets through, see if I can get my money back, because I was denied entry. I paid for something and I didn't get what I paid for. I mean, but I went to the website, and what I found, well, basically I'm not getting my money back after what happened. It said event staff reserves the right to refuse admission to or eject any person whose conduct the management deems disorderly or otherwise fails to comply with event rules. Breach your terms will terminate your license to attend event and not result in a refund. All I pretty much did was walk up there and try to get in. I didn't really do anything to harm anybody. I mean, I paid for my ticket. I had proof that I paid for my ticket, and it just wasn't good. So I was like, I'm probably not gonna go to that until something changes. I'm probably not gonna go to that place again until something changes, because I don't think I was treated very fairly. I don't know how many other people got denied entrance that night, but I did. I was talking to people online, and I did message the venue on social media, on one of my social media sites, and they have not gotten to me yet, but I know they have been on social media since I had messaged them, because they were making posts earlier today. So I'm pretty sure they saw it, or they probably just ignored it. So that's pretty much what happened, and I don't know how. I mean, this was just. I just don't think what happened to me was fair. I don't think it should happen to anybody else. I don't think it. Actually, I don't think this. What happened to me should have happened to any of the regulars under the previous owner. I just don't think it's right. And this is just. It was just a not so good weekend for me, and it was just not a good weekend for me. I was really looking forward to seeing the show, and I couldn't get in, and I don't know, but I can probably read some of the comments I got online. Won't mention names, don't want to get them in trouble here. Let's start with some of the stuff I got on here. There was, on my phone, I'll read you some of my comments. Let's see if I can get them. What? Let's see, from a local magazine. What? WTF, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Another comment I got, this was from a lady from Texas. I'm in Nebraska right now. This is from a lady in Texas. He goes, that venue doesn't need to be hosting metal shows if they're afraid of metalheads. Bunch of pushies. and there are people asking where I was at. Let's see, I got more. And I got a few more things on here. If I can find it. I had some on Twitter too. Wow, they looked just on your appearance. That's too much judgment and not a good thing. Did they explain the reasons? Yeah. Dress code again. No, this one was not dress code related. It was just based on appearance. Why? So this was just, and another person said, that is not very good news to read. And it's like, you paid for your ticket, you should get a refund, but according to the ticket website, I am not getting a refund. So that is some of the stuff that I got online. It was just devastating, and well, and I just was not very happy about that, just because I look like trouble. As everybody has a different opinion. Looking like trouble and acting like trouble are two different things. I mean, looking like, saying it's just because you don't like the way someone looks, that does not mean they're acting like trouble. You can always say they look like trouble, but if it's just based on their looks and not in their actions, that does not mean the person is trouble. If somebody is acting like trouble, then I would say kick them out or deny them entry, but I was not doing anything outside of what I would normally do when I go to a concert, so I was not acting like trouble. They were just judging me on my appearance, and I don't think that's right. I do not think, I might probably repeated myself a few times already on this video, but I don't think what happened to me was right. I don't think that should happen to anybody else, and this is just not too good of a weekend for me, so hopefully things will get better, and I just had to get my information and my side of the story out. So whoever's watching, have a good night and a good day, or whenever time you're watching this. Alright, bye.